Hi and welcome to today's yoga class, which is a Yin Yoga, and it focuses more on the fascia. And this is why we stay longer in the positions, and it's a very relaxing practice. Also safe for any type of pelvic floor dysfunction. I recommend you to have either a bolster or a really big pillow or maybe a few pillows so that you can work with your hips up when we are laying down. Let's start. We will come into a lying down position, grabbing our pillows or our bolster, and we will put that underneath our hips. So slowly, gently come to a lying down position and then lift up your hips and take your pillow or bolster underneath your pelvis. And position it well now, because we are going to stay here for some time. So maybe you feel you need to move it down toward the feet or try to roll it up a little bit. We want the pillows or the bolster to be placed on the back side of the pelvis, so that you feel a really good, nice support. Already here, our organs, the bladder, the uterus, and the rectum will start to move upwards and take off the pressure of the pelvic floor muscles, the fascia, and the nerves. So we are going to just stay here for a few breaths before we dive into the different positions in this class. So please just close your eyes and breathe in and out through your nose. And if you can, try to focus on expanding the rib cage as you inhale. And when you exhale, the rib cage becomes small in toward the center of the body. And if you want to sigh to really land into the present moment, leave everything that has been present for you before this, and whatever is going to come after. See if you can let go of all of that and just be with your body as it is right now. And when you are ready, let's lift the feet up off of the floor, bending your knees. We are going to take a lying down butterfly. So we want to place the sole of the feet together and let them just relax down. If you can place your hand somewhere on the lower leg or even around the feet, please go ahead and do that. Otherwise, maybe you want to keep your hands on the thighs or in any way they may support you. So we will stay here for about 3 minutes, and it's not necessary to feel a really deep stretch or to take anything into any extreme. We just want to place the body in different forms to support the blood circulation, the fluid in the fascia, and the nerve-brain connection. So any way that you find you can relax in this type of butterfly position, please go ahead. And if you want to be feeling a more stretching sensation, maybe you're craving that, you want to aim to the sides with your knees. So they are moving from each other. They're not moving toward each other. And then just become still, breathing, relaxing, and letting gravity do the work for us. And where can you relax just 5% more? Maybe in your neck, in your jaw, in the root of the tongue, your shoulders. Just take a quick body scan and see if you can help yourself to become even more heavy. And we want to stay here for at least 3 minutes to start to melt the fascia, to create that elastiness in the fascia. The fascia is not super fond of fast movements with heavy weights necessarily. When we have any kind of problem or dysfunction, what the fascia usually needs is a more relaxed approach to start to form in other ways that supports the body and the whole system of the body, because everything is connected through the fascia. Good. A few more breaths here. And then slowly we will stretch our legs and let them become more towards straight. They may still be bent, but we are aiming for straight now. So if you can, I am too close to the wall, so I'm just going to move away from the wall. So if you can, keep them straight. So you really activate and push the heel toward the ceiling or the wall. And then you place your hands somewhere on the inside of the thighs to support your legs. And so that you don't have to engage the legs 100% to be able to stretch. You can almost relax the legs into the hands. And I kept my feet flexed. If you want to do that, that's fine. They can also just relax. So closing the eyes, and the arms may work a little here to hold your legs. That is fine. So just slowly now, finding a fruitful position for you to stay in for these 3 minutes. And it may be super intense for you, then probably you should back off. If you're open to feel more, you can try to gently push your hands into the thighs and create a deeper stretch. Usually in Yin Yoga, where we want to, the sweet spot that we want to find is where the resistance in the body, where the stretch just exactly where it starts, not where you can push 10% more and it becomes super intense, but it's just on that first response of the body. And we want to work there and stay there, if possible. So just breathe now deeply, sighing if that comes to you. You can also bend your knees if this becomes too intense. Then it will be more of a frog position upside down, which is completely fine. We are now creating blood circulation on the inside of the thighs, which leads all the way into the pelvis and the pelvic floor. And breathing in and out through the nose, if that is accessible for you. Staying 2 more breaths here. Maybe taking slightly deeper breaths. And slowly, gently pushing the legs toward each other again. And maybe do some nice movements to get some circulation back into the legs. Now we will cross our legs so that the right leg comes on top of the left. Bending the knees and letting the feet fall toward the outside of the opposite hip. If you can, you grab your feet here and you slowly, gently put some pressure on the feet and let them come even closer toward the outside of your hips. And if you feel a stretch, if you feel that there's something is shifting now, some work is done here and it's enough, you stay. There's also an option of straightening, or not straightening the legs, creating a 90-degree angle in the knee. So you hold your feet, you have this 90-degree angle, and you relax the legs toward your body, still keeping the hips high, so no pressure into the pelvic floor. And you breathe here. If it's too intense, just let go of the 90-degree angle, relax your legs, and stay here. Even if your feet are, higher up, or you don't really have your knees in line, that is completely fine. Relax, breathe. Good. Let's take 3 deep breaths before we move to the next position. And as you exhale the next time, you move slowly. You lift your legs. You keep the same position with your legs, but now you place your right foot on your left knee, and you try to aim to mirror on the opposite side what you've done on this side with the right leg. So here you want to grab your left foot and gently push it toward your knee. And it may be that, as you see for me, the leg is kind of, or the foot is kind of far away from the knee, which is completely fine. But you can take your hands on the inside of your legs and kind of hug your knees. So this will create a different stretch around the pelvis. We are working only around the pelvis at the moment. And if you're somewhere here with this type of position, that is also okay. If you feel this position is too complicated, you can just take a pigeon pose like this on your back. So let's stay here now 3 minutes. And if you have any type of sensitivity in your knees, I recommend you to flex your feet in this position. And remember to be on that threshold in between nothing is stretching or shifting and too much is stretching and shifting. So it's right at the start of where you feel a response from the body. That's where you want to stay and breathe. Just breathing. Letting go of any thoughts that takes you away from the present moment. Back off if it's too intense. You can also take a break, lower your feet and just take a few breaths. Come back into the position. Last 3 breaths here. And when you have taken your 3 breaths, you slowly start to let go of this position. And you can just shake your legs a little bit if that feels good. Letting some blood circulation come back into the pelvis and the hips. So let's do one last position on this side. You can bend now your left leg and just gently tip your right leg toward the side. And maybe here you need to stretch the right hand out toward the right to create like a weight, an opposite weight. And now you see my really nice and clean feet. I always walk barefoot in the woods, so It's really hard to clean them actually. And you can either take your left hand and just relax the leg into the hand, or maybe you want to lower the leg even further. You're aiming to stretch and work with this part where we have a lot of fascia, and we need more fluidity in our legs, our pelvis, our pelvic floor, low back, and kind of the whole body, as everything is connected. So we stay here now and breathe. And you can test and try and see what feels good for you. If you have a few extra pillows, maybe that's what you want to place underneath your knee. Maybe you want to stretch the bottom leg. Maybe that feels better. Just take your time to explore and try to land in a supportive position for your body today. And that may look different from day to day, which is okay. So continue to breathe. And relax. Breathing into the rib cage and bringing your mind back into the body, into the breath. Taking 3 more deep breaths. And slowly, when you're ready, you're coming back to the bolster or the pillows, and maybe placing the feet down. Adjust so that you are on top of the pillows or the bolster, and just take a quick moment here to check in with yourself and notice if there are any differences from the right side to the left side. Good. And then slowly we will take the same positions on the other side. So starting now with the left leg on top, with the knees kind of on the same level, grabbing your feet if you can, and just let them move toward the outer hip. Relax your legs and settle for a moment here. And so if you cannot feel anything here, I suggest that you create this 90-degree angle and still hold your feet if you can. Otherwise, you stay with the feet down and try to relax the whole body. The legs are just lowering slowly toward your chest. Your breaths are deep to the bottom of the lungs, moving in and out through the nostrils, relaxing your eyes and your forehead. And adjust if anything is not feeling comfortable for you. Please change that. If we feel supported, if we are comfortable, then the response from the body will be more optimized. Now taking 3 more breaths. And as you exhale, you can move into full pigeon if you want to, where we keep the left foot on the right knee. And we try to lower the right foot toward the left knee with the help of our hands. And the legs will probably come closer to the chest. Just grab wherever you feel comfortable. If this feels weird or not comfortable for you, you can just bend that right leg, let the heel come toward the sitting bone, and grab the lower leg on the right leg and stay here. So whichever you prefer, and just breathe. Slowly taking 3 more breaths. See if you can deepen those inhalations into the bottom of the lungs. And feeling a relaxing sensation on the exhales. Slowly starting to lift off the legs and take them up toward the ceiling. You can shake them a little bit here. Take a sigh. Maybe you want to roll your feet. And we're going to take that outside stretch on the left leg. So bend your right knee and slowly start to roll your leg toward the right side. And wherever you feel something starts to shift here on the outside of the thigh, you stay and stop. Maybe you want to reach with the left arm out toward the side to create a weight that will help balance the body. And maybe you want to lean your leg into the right hand or on top of something else. Pillows, maybe you have like a small chair or anything, the wall. So just create the type of support that your body is longing for. Try to just breathe into the resistance within the body, melting anything with your breath and your presence. Taking 3 more deep breaths. And maybe on the exhale you can sink your leg a little lower. Getting that sensation of melting in the whole body, not just the area that we are working with, but really just becoming heavy everywhere. And slowly, gently, after your 3 breaths, you start to lift your leg up again. And we will take one more position on this, like the bolster or the pillows. So make sure you have the support almost toward the low back now, not just the back side of the pelvis, but up toward the ribs on the back side of the body. So you can just start to hug your knees in toward your chest, and then we are going to straighten the legs. And this is kind of like a plow pose almost. In plow pose, usually we don't have a bolster here, and we want to reach with straight legs all the way down toward the floor with the feet. But for this one, we want to, of course, keep our hips high, but we want them to rest on the bolster. And then you just lower straight legs, or kind of straight, they can be a little bent, until you feel a stretching sensation from the sit bones all the way to your heels. And if that is not happening for you, you can try to flex the feet and see if that triggers the stretching sensation. And you can choose here if you want to rest your arms out toward the sides, if you want to either support the legs or create some weight in the legs with your hands, or even take your 2 peace fingers around your big toe, wrapping with the thumb finger and staying here. Aiming with the heel toward the ceiling or the sky. So we are elongating that whole back side of the leg. So let's just breathe here. And if you feel a small shaking in the legs, which I feel, in yoga that is called prana, which is life energy. So that is starting to flow again. That's the saying for any type of spontaneous shaking from the body in yoga. That's when you awaken your prana, life force or life energy. So if that happens, try to enjoy it. Maybe you smile and continue to breathe. So 3 more breaths here. And after your last exhale, slowly let go of the legs, bending them, doing anything that feels comfortable for you to move out of this. So maybe the easiest way is to just lift your hips, remove the pillows or the bolster, and coming down. So now we have been working with increasing fluidity and blood circulation on the inside, on the back side, on the side, up here in the glutes. And I want to finish off with some more circulation here on the front side. So now we will sit on our sitting bones, placing the bolster behind us or pillows in this way. We will stretch our right leg forward and bend, if we can now, the left leg so that the heel is quite close to the outside of the left hip. And then we'll take our bolster, and there are a few ways now to do this. So either you just lean back on your hands and you will feel a stretch here on the front side. And then maybe that is enough. You could also place your bolster like this behind you and come back onto your elbows. And the last option here is to place the bolster like this and lay all the way back down. Maybe first you start with your elbows on the floor, and if the body says yes, you can continue all the way down. So relax, place your arms, if you're all the way down, in any position that feels good for you. And this is the last position that we are doing today, of course, on both sides. So after this side, we'll finish off with the right side, and we have really created circulation 360 degrees in our legs and pelvis and hips and glutes. If you feel any pinching or pain in the low back here, I recommend you that you lift up your upper body. Any sharp pain in Yin Yoga is not at all what we are looking for. So then you come out of the position, you modify, and come back in again. Relaxing the shoulders and the neck here. And if you still don't really feel much, you can always take the foot closer to the outside hip, and also taking the knee slightly out from toward the left side. And relax. Slowly taking one last deep breath here. And then coming back up, slowly stretching the leg in front of us. Just notice here, with both legs straight, if you can feel a difference from left side to right side. Making space for the change that we made, and acknowledging in the body that something shifted in that position. And let's take now the right leg, doing the exact same thing before Savasana. So you bend your leg and starting up on the hands, just noticing And if this feels good enough, you stay here. Maybe also after a minute or so, you feel you're able to go deeper. That is when you are working with the body. When you let the body express and let the body communicate what the next step is, not your brain. And if you want to place the elbows, of course, on top of the bolster or the pillows, or coming all the way down, those are the options for this position. So staying here. And breathe. Letting go. Melt. 3 last breaths. When you are ready, we'll come out of the position any way that you feel accessible. If you want to just straighten your leg, that is fine. And we will shift now into Savasana, the resting pose. And I recommend you now to take the bolster in under your knees, on the back side of your knees, so you can feel a nice comfortable support on some part of your thigh and some part of your lower leg, and the bolster or the pillow is in the center of the back side of your knee. So from here, I want you to tilt your pelvis so that you elongate your low back a little bit, and then you sink down and feel that support from your bent legs all the way up into your low back and the whole backside of the body. Resting the feet so the feet can fall out toward the side, the arms are stretched. Just relaxing alongside the body, moving the shoulder blades slightly toward each other to support the spine, and then placing the head in the center as an elongation of your spine, closing the eyes and just staying here completely still, letting the body transform the work that we just did and really use that work to create more balance in each and every single system in the body. And we have many systems. We have the fascia system, the lymph system, the blood circulation system, the hormone system, the immune system, and all of them can make benefit from this practice. So if we just give that small space of nothingness, the body will magically do its work. Taking a deep breath, slowly waking up the body again. Moving your hands and feet, your toes. And maybe stretching the arms long, lifting the heels up off the floor and just stretching all the way from your toes to your fingertips. Exhaling, relaxing, putting your feet on top of the bolster and then slowly roll over to one side. Just noticing how you feel now. Slowly coming all the way up, coming to a seated position with your legs crossed if that's accessible for you. Closing the eyes and find a moment of stillness. And maybe a moment of gratitude for your body. Maybe. If you don't feel it, don't force it. It may be hard to feel gratitude if you experience dysfunctions or problems in your body. And thank yourself for creating this space to aim for a deeper connection with the cells in your body. So placing one hand on top of the heart or both, just bowing, thanking yourself for this time. And I hope to see you soon again.